Lesson 5.2, our objective is to write an equation of a line using slope-intercept form. Guidelines for writing an equation of a line. If you're given the slope and one point on the line, use the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Substitute the slope and the point into the slope-intercept form and solve for b. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Math Academy. Our objective with this lesson is to write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form using slope-intercept form. This lesson, lesson 5.2, I've broken it up into two separate parts. This is part one. We're going to write an equation of a line when given the slope and one point that's on the line. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's look at this first example. It says write an equation of a line that passes through the point 2, -2, and has a slope of 1 over 3. Well, in this case, we're going to write the equation in slope-intercept form, and we're going to use slope-intercept form in order to help write the equation. And if you can recall, slope-intercept form is simply y equals mx plus b. Well, in this case, we're given one point that's on the line and we're given the slope of the line. And that's enough information for us to write the equation, okay? Now, in order to do this, we're going to need some values, okay? We're going to need an x value, we're going to need a y value, we're going to need an m, which is a slope, and we're going to need a b, which is your y-intercept. Well, now you may be asking, well, where am I going to get these values from? The x and the y, they come from the point that the line passes through. So in this case, my x is 2, and my y is -2. And the m, my slope, is 1 over 3. That information is given in the problem. So the x, the y, and the m were given. The b, the y-intercept, that's what we're going to look for. Okay, so now once we have that y-intercept, once we figure out what it is, we can write our equation. So this is all we're going to do. We have an x, a y, and an m, and we're looking for the b. I need to take the values that I have and substitute them into the slope-intercept form. So this will become -2. All I'm doing is substituting the values in. My m is 1 over 3. My x is 2. And the b is I don't know. That's what I'm looking for, okay? So now this is a fairly simple process. I just need to solve for b. So this becomes -2 is equal to, now 1/3 times 2 is going to be 2 over 3 plus b. Once again, I'm solving for b, so that means I need to subtract this 2 over 3 from both sides. Now I'm going to show this part just for the benefit of the people that they kind of struggle with fractions. So it'll be minus 2 over 3. Okay, that have to have a common denominator, so this is going to be a -6 over 3 minus 2 over 3. Okay, so now that will give me a -8 over 3. Okay, so -2 minus 2 over 3 gives me a -8 over 3. Cancels out there. So that leaves me with -8 over 3 is b. Okay, so now that I know that -8 over 3 is equal to b, I no longer need the y value. I no longer need the x value, because in order to write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form, all I need is the slope and the y-intercept. So now I'll put those two together and it will become y equals 1/3 x minus 8 over 3. Now you may write it as y equals 1/3 x plus a -8 over 3. Means the same thing. So either answer will do. That's a fairly simple process. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one together. We'll do one more together, then you'll try two on your own. So in the next one, we're given the same information. We know 1 point on the line, and we know the slope of the line. We know that this line passes through the point -1, -2, and it has a slope of 5. So once again, same thing. I need an x value, I need a y value, I need an m, and I need a b. The x value and the y value, I get that from the point that it passes through. It passes through -1, -2. So my x is -1, my y is -2, and my m is 5. That was the information we were given in the problem. The b, the y-intercept, I don't know. That's what we're looking for. And we're putting it all in slope-intercept form. So in this case, for this one, my y is -2. My slope is 5. My x is -1. And my b is what we're looking for. We're using all this information to figure out what our y-intercept is. So I'll solve this for b. So this leaves me with -2 is equal to 5 times -1 is -5 plus b. I'll add 5 to both sides in order to get rid of this 5 on the right. So this gives me -2 plus 5. It leaves me with 3. 5's cancel out on the right equals b. Okay, so once again, now that you have your y-intercept, you know what the y-intercept is. You no longer need that x and y that you got from the point, and you're ready to write your equation in slope-intercept form. So your slope-intercept form would be y equals 5x plus 3. Now let me tell you what a lot of my students will do, and I don't want you to make the same mistake. They will figure out what the y-intercept of the line is, and they'll stop right there. And they'll give me this for the answer. This is what they'll give me for the answer. And I'll say the same thing every time. Well, that's real pretty, but it's wrong. That's not what it asked you for. It asked you to write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form. So you do need the slope-intercept. However, once you get it, you still have to write the equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, so don't make that same mistake. Now what I want you to do, I want you to pause the video. I want you to work the remaining two problems, and then I want you to restart the video and check your answers. Okay. Okay, if you've restarted your video, let's check your answers. The next one we have a line that passes through the point -5, -2, and has a slope of 1/2, and we need to write an equation of it. For it, we're going to use the slope-intercept form once again. Now, as you are checking your work, make sure that you make any corrections. If you messed up something, if you missed something, make sure you correct it. In this case, you should have that your x is -5, your y is -2, slope is 1/2, the y-intercept b, that is what you're looking for, you don't know. Then you arranged it in the proper order. So that gives you a -2 equals 1/2. 1/2 times a -5 plus b. So this gives you a -2 is equal to 1/2 times a -5 gives you a -5/2 plus b. Now you want to add 5/2 to both sides. And if you're still struggling with fractions, I encourage you to use your graphing calculator. And it will take care of all of this for you. You don't have to go through all of this. -2 plus 5/2. This is the same as saying a -4/2 plus 5/2. Okay, -4 plus 5 is 1, and the denominator is the same. So -2 plus 5/2 is a +1/2. cancels out. So that means that B is 1/2. Now once again, once you know the y-intercept, once you know that B, you no longer need, excuse me, you no longer need the x and the y value. You just simply write your equation in slope-intercept form. So this would become y equals 1/2 x plus 1/2. It's a fairly simple process. Once again, if you've made a mistake, correct it. Fix your mistake. Okay? So that you'll have a good set of notes to use when you're working problems on your own. Let's try this last one. Let's check it out together. On this one, the line passes through the point 2, 3, and it has the slope of -3. So my x in this case is 2. My y value in this case, I'm going to use 3. The slope, the m, I'm going to use -3. And the y-intercept b, that's what we are looking for. Okay, so we don't know what that is yet. So this becomes 3 is equal to -3 times 2 plus b. This becomes 3 equals -3 times 2 is -6 plus b. I'll add 6 to both sides of this equation. 3 plus 6, let me fix this. 3 plus 6 is 9. 6 is canceled out on the right is equal to b. So now that I know my b is 9, know my y-intercept. Once I've ascertained that, I no longer need that x and y value. I can write my equation in slope-intercept form. This becomes y equals a -3x plus 9. It's a fairly simple process. It does take just a little bit of practice, just a smidge, and you'll be fine with it. I hope that this video has been of some use to you. Please make sure you check out the second part of this video. We're still writing equations of lines in slope-intercept form using slope-intercept form, but in the second part of the video we are given 2 points. We're not given the slope, we're only given 2 points, and I'm showing you how to write equations of a line using just those 2 points.